I'm honestly like the things I was doing slacking off at work at my other jobs my whole life. I'm celebrated and doing them here for my job. And
Okay.
it's like things like doing practical jokes or making funny videos or making
Yeah, the
funny
stuff
memes or
that was like against your
like
job.
yeah. And it's like it's strange how the world works and how like I got put into this position that I'm able to do like literally everything that just comes naturally to me.
All right, it is time for a mid-quarter check-in. So if you are at work right now or about to get to work or you just left work and you're listening to this, it is a great time to check yourself in terms of where you are this quarter. It is Thursday, February 16th. This is episode 259 of the Token CEO podcast. I'm Erika. I'm the CEO of Barstool Sports. And today we are talking about your mid-quarter check-in. Thank you to Omega Accounting Solutions. Omega Accounting Solutions is an awesome partner of Barstool Sports. What Omega Accounting Solutions does is they check in on businesses on their accounting practices. So if you have a small business and you're like, I'm overwhelmed with making pizzas or doing nails or dry cleaning or waxing or pet care or pet grooming, or you have a little cafe. I can imagine 1,000 small businesses. Like if I had a small business, I'd be obsessed with all the little details in the business and not be thinking about accounting, which is pretty much what's happened at Barstool Sports. Thankfully, Omega Accounting Solutions makes it easy for small businesses to get a handle on their finances. They offer a whole range of accounting solutions, and they know a lot about the employee retention credit. So the employee retention credit says that if you employed people during COVID in your small business, you could be eligible for up to $26,000 in a federal tax credit. All you have to do is call 1-800-300-9ERC. That's 1-800-300-9ERC, and someone at Omega Accounting Solutions can help you. If you prefer to go to the .com route, you can go to omegataxcredits.com/Barstool Sports now. Okay, so talking about mid-quarter check-ins. So this sounds super nerdy. This might be a nerdy tactical episode, but I think it's a good idea in the middle of a quarter to just have a where the fuck am I type of moment where you're like, okay, I've spent 6 weeks working on X. I've got 6 weeks to go before the end of the quarter when I'm going to be reviewed on how much money I'm bringing in, how much product I'm shipping, how you're doing against the results. Have you hit the deadline that you needed? So now's the point in time where you have the where the fuck am I moment. So in this moment, what you can do is say, all right, I really want to be promoted at mid-year, right? You want to get to June, July, get a mid-year promotion, get a nice bump in your pay. So you are a quarter of the way there. I think now is a good time to say, did you set a vision for what you wanted to achieve for yourself? Did you set a roadmap of all the things that you need to do to hit that vision? Are you on track? Like, are you getting your shit done? I started the beginning of the year and I was like, I'm going to work out every day. I'm going to work out all the time. I'm just going to work out. That's not a work goal. That's a life goal. I'd give myself like a C. I think I'm doing like 3 to 4 workouts a week. That's not 7. I'm like 50% of where I want to be. But it's good to be honest with yourself about what you're trying to achieve. In my case, I'm trying to get this company sold. I'm trying to get the acquisition done. That's my quarter of the way through the half of the year milestone, which sounds complicated, but I knew that that was a milestone that we had to hit. So I'm very focused on that. I want to hire new people. I want new people butts in seat by the end of Q1. I'm a little bit behind in that. So I know that's got to be my focus for the next 6 weeks. I also want to make sure we're hitting our revenue goals because we told Penn we would hit them. So I want to be sure we're hitting those, kind of maniacally looking at where are we right now. So I think the most important thing of a mid-quarter check-in is to think back to the end of the year, to think back to the end of last year, to think back to the beginning of this year. You made all the New Year's resolutions. You said, I want to get promoted. I want to get a new job. I want to crush it at work. I want to get the fuck out of here. Whatever it is you said, now is a great time to say, where am I in doing that? If you want a new job, were you like, hey, I got my resume together. I sent my resume to 10 companies. I had 2 people review my cover letter. I made it even better. What are you doing to make sure that you're on track to getting a new job by the point in time that you wanted a new job? We already talked about getting promoted and getting stuff done. If you want to hire people into your team, if you want to elevate yourself into a new role, you've really got to set that vision. I think one of the things that happens at the end of a year is like it can be this like big flurry of like, ooh, I'm going to do all these things. I'm going to be a different version of myself. I'm going to be so much better. And then you get into like January in the Northeast. It's like cold weather. It's gray outside. You drank too much wine the night before and you're like, ugh, I actually haven't gotten anywhere near where I wanted to be. So this week is a great week to like look up, look around and say, and really critically say, where am I versus where I want to be? And am I on the right path? I think the thing that is so hard about making change for yourself or making things better for yourself or making a new life for yourself or doing something for yourself is that it doesn't happen overnight, which sucks, let's be honest. So the shitty thing is that it like doesn't happen overnight. You gotta like get up every day and work towards it. And I think while it's really easy to make all sorts of promises and all sorts of resolutions and, say you're going to do all these things, now's the point in time where you're like, ooh, did the rubber really meet the road? Like, am I really walking the walk? And so that's what this episode is about, is how do you walk the walk to get what you want? All right, so one way to do this, like how do you have a mid-quarter check-in with yourself? Like one, like get a notebook. Obviously my desk is a mess, but like I have a notebook. This has everything I need to be doing. I keep the page on what I'm trying to do. I have all my notes in here. Hopefully at the beginning of the year, you wrote down your vision. What did you want to achieve? How long of a time frame are you going to give yourself to get there? What are the steps you're going to take? What's the help you need from other people? And how are you going to reward yourself when you get it done? Like, I think that's a great way to set a goal, a vision, and a roadmap for yourself. Hopefully you wrote that down in your notebook. Now's a great time to go back and say, ooh, this is what my vision was 6 weeks ago. This is what I thought the roadmap might be. You're like, ooh, now I'm a quarter of the way into the roadmap and shit is not going to go like I thought it was going to go in the first place. So at this point, if you wrote everything down, you can check yourself. You can say, did I have the right vision? Was I realistic about my roadmap? Is this easier or harder than I thought? If it's easier, maybe you create a stretch goal for yourself and you go even further. If it's harder, maybe you kind of recalibrate your vision, right? If you didn't write it down, now's an awesome time to write things down so that at the end of the quarter, you have something to draw back to. Like, I'm not a huge, like, everyday keep one consistent list for 6 months type of person, but I do think it's really good to write down your principles, your vision, your roadmap, and your plan. I have a terrible memory, so it's hard for me to remember that stuff over a long period of time. And I also think it's good to force yourself to look at what you thought you might want to do in writing and to be honest with yourself how you're doing against it. I think the second thing is find a set of metrics for yourself that are reasonable and realistic. So you might say, hey, I really want a new job. And how I'm going to get the new job is I'm going to write a resume, I'm going to write my cover letter, I'm going to network, I'm going to complete a bunch of job applications, I'm going to learn about a whole bunch of different industries. I find it easiest to kind of break things into like a game for yourself. Like when I'm thinking about my work day or work in general, or even my career really, I make it a game. I'm like, when I was looking for jobs, I was like, how many resumes can I send out today? Or if I was researching companies, I would say like, I'm going to give myself a goal of 15 companies this week. Or I'm going to set up 5 lunches. Or I'm going to cold call 3 people. I think it's easiest when you have a set of metrics that make you accountable for doing little things every day, and it just kind of stares you in the face until you do it. I also think this is true in business. Like one of the things, that we're doing at Barstool right now is having the like mid-quarter check-in, right? This is going to be our first quarter where we're owned by Penn. We set out some pretty ambitious goals for ourselves. I'm like, where are we versus where we thought we would be in advertising, in audience views, in engagement, in revenue, in commerce, in wholesale, you name it. So it's a really good time to say, where are we? But the only way you can understand where you are is if you have good metrics. Like one of the things that drives me nuts is when like we try to use metrics as a way to market to ourselves about how great we are. Like literally makes me fucking crazy, like crazy, crazy, crazy. Because if you spend all your time manipulating the headlines of your metrics to make yourself feel better, you're never going to get any better. And you're never going to recognize either how good things are and what gasoline you want to put on the fire to do more, or how bad things are and what you need to do to change. And I think that is like the single biggest thing. Like when I look at where we are right now, I'm like, all right, here's where we said we should be. We're ahead here, we're behind here, we're way behind there. This person's winning, this person's losing, this person's kind of stagnant. It just gives you eyes to do things and to make the right change and to take the right step. If you delude yourself by telling yourself you're great all the time, by telling yourself everything's okay all the time, everything is not okay, it prevents you from taking the right steps to making things better. Everybody has stuff inside them that isn't working the way you want it to. Everybody has stuff inside you that you're like, oh, I really got to get that thing done today, but I'm just going to put it off because it's uncomfortable, or it's difficult, or it makes me feel weird, or I'm sad, or I don't know how to get started. If you break things down into small pieces, they're easier to get up and do, and then you've got momentum and progress behind you. So that's kind of how I think you should take a look at, mid-February. Like, I think it's just a great point in time. Like, everybody wants to go somewhere. Everybody wants to be something. Everybody wants to achieve certain things. All those things are different. You might want money. You might want a new job. You might want a boyfriend. You might want fame. You might want to change your life. You might want to move cities. You might want to get out of a dysfunctional relationship. Like, whatever that is, you got to break it down into little steps, and you've got to take the moments as they present themselves. I like to use a calendar, but you could do it like by the zodiac. You can do it however you want. You got to take the moment to understand where you are versus where you want to be, and to kind of kick yourself in the butt in terms of, or pat yourself on the back in terms of how you're doing and getting there. So I'm going to go ambush Joey, and Joey and I are going to do Joey's mid-year check-in, which should be sweet. Okay, Joey, we're talking about a mid-quarter check-in, which I realize is probably very
I've never had
for
one.
you. Well, so let me ask you this question. Do you set goals for yourself and you're like, I want to do this in your life? Could be in your life, could be at work. Do you feel comfortable sharing one? Like, what's a goal that you have right now?
Yeah, I mean, just in general in life, I find if you always have to you always have to give yourself something to look forward to.
Yeah.
And every day, like even if it's like simplest thing, like tomorrow I get to like even wake up and have coffee, but it's like even like big picture things. I have like lists of them, like summertime or whatever it is, because it gives you
like I want to be blank.
It keeps you going. Like when you're dormant, it's like it's the worst thing you can be.
Yeah, it's so bad.
You have to. So goals of mine. I mean, obviously, I want to like get into shape. I want to plan a trip this summer.
Ooh, where do you want to go?
Somewhere local. Nothing Europe.
Like Dave's house?
Yeah, maybe. That'd be fun. Buying a house is a long-term goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
Moving out of my tiny apartment.
Get a new contract here.
That's
an immediate
my number
goal.
one, yeah.
And then so one of the things we're talking about is like, how do you check yourself against your progress on your goal?
Well, I always like wait till the end to get everything done.
Oh, you're like a last minute guy?
A little bit. So like I have these ideas, but I don't really put anything into play. But I have my game plan. So when I want to attack, like when it's ready to happen, I already have everything laid out.
Okay.
So in a way, I am doing groundwork.
Yeah.
Where I'm like saying, okay, if I am gonna leave this apartment and move here, I'm going to do this.
I got to get this done by this time.
I'm going to budget this much for this, and then I'm going to get this couch. I'm not going to get this furniture here because I might get something bigger there. And I plan everything ahead of time, but I don't really jump on everything and like lay it out until it's like time to attack.
It's
which is it's counterintuitive in a way.
No,
like it's exciting because when I do get to the final thing, whether it's planning the vacation or planning a check-in with you or something like that, like getting all my ducks in a row, what I'm going to do. I have it all. It's like constantly going.
It's in your head.
It never
all the
stops.
Yeah.
But I'm not as physical with it like right now.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. And how are you feeling about work?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it here. Yeah. I never found a group of people that like got me anywhere in my life. Like I've always like, because like what I've had at jobs before, like I was always doing what I wanted to do and have fun, but I never felt like the people there got me or I fit in a way. Like and also just in what I'm actually doing for work, doing something that comes naturally to me
that you love,
that I don't have to do. And like this job hits like every mark. It's incredible.
That's awesome.
Like
I
I've
was
met, like,
lonely till I got to Barstool too. I think
Yeah.
there's something that's
Do you know what I mean?
that completes you here.
And it didn't on an outside world, it wouldn't seem like, this would be the fit for me, because everyone has this idea about what this Barstool is, but it's completely the opposite.
It's
everywhere.
weird, right?
100%.
Yeah.
Of what everyone has expectations to be. I mean, it is like, a sports-centric thing and kind of the bro-y and frat-boy, but these are the...
Do you think it's broy?
I mean, that's what people think it is.
Yeah.
And when you get here, it's like these are the sweetest, nicest
sweet.
guys.
Yeah,
There is, a ton
sweet.
of straight guys, but there's also, Barstool has a lot of gay people that work here that no one know about, because on my contract, I made sure that I was the only one on the bill.
Now you're trying to kill them all?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like, it's survival of the
But
fittest.
there's something for everyone. There's such a sense of community here, like the way Enrique does it with the people team, and they like always have these like cute little meetings, and like everyone gets to like learn about the lunch and learns.
Do you
and
go
things.
to those?
I don't, but I do eat the lunch.
Doesn't bother you when people touch the food?
No, it's fine. Yeah, I'm disgusting. I've eaten in
You don't care?
Atlantic City at buffets before.
Oh,
Or you
shit,
get grossed
really?
out by buffets?
Oh, I won't touch any food that I don't know where it comes from and who makes it, and if anybody else touches it.
Oh, no.
Gross.
Yeah.
That's kind of debilitating too. But I can go to the bathroom anywhere.
That I can do that too.
That's
No,
a
I can do that.
necessity, I think, in life.
But yeah, there's such a good community here, and such a sense of family. And I'm honestly like the things I was doing slacking off at work at my other jobs my whole life, I'm celebrated and doing them here for my job.
Okay.
And it's like things like doing practical jokes or making funny videos or making
Yeah,
funny
the
memes.
stuff that was like against your job.
Yeah, and it's like it's strange how the world works and how like I got put into this position that I'm able to do like literally everything that just comes naturally to me.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and I found I'm so happy here.
What are some of your goals for yourself? Like in my world, like that everything exists on like a quarterly basis.
Yeah.
So like by the end of Q1, which is the end of March, like what are goals? Like I know when you and I sat down at the Arizona Ball, I loved it. Like you're very metrics driven for seeming like you're not at all metrics driven, but you're like, ooh, my videos with Dave really play. Like the drag plays. So like what are some of the goals you have?
Well, we have Working Girls, which is coming out, which is premiering it actually today, the first episode. So we're we're working with the sales team, so I want to make sure that they're fun to make, but at the end of the day, it's a business, and we want everything sold. I mean, it's entertaining for everyone, but people don't know about
what Working Girls is.
So Working Girls is a new series that Pat and I are doing. It's basically we're trying out new jobs, new careers.
Yeah.
The premise is eventually we're going to get fired from here one day, and we're going to have to find new careers to do, so we might as well be proactive.
Sorry, is it, go ahead.
You might as well be proactive and try new careers out, because when we get either canceled or you're fired from Barstool or no one thinks we're funny anymore or something, we're going to have real jobs to back us up, because we're not marrying rich.
It's like the simple life.
Yeah.
This is our version. So what's your first job?
The first job we work as dog groomers.
Okay.
In Staten Island.
Okay.
At this little place called BYOP, Bring Your Own Puppy. Very cute place.
Okay.
And it's and they did such a good job. We did work with Dave Sokol, who's a new producer here, and he...
Did he do a good job?
Oh my God, yeah. I can show you the trailer if you want to.
I just want us to trust us, because I feel like you've been helping us all along, and I think we can do this on our own now. I think we've seen enough. Don't give her an attitude.
I'm not.
She says, yes, you are.
This is the first safety issue, number one. Okay? We're lucky that these dogs are alive right now.
Don't fight the feelings.
Let's take a look at the hole, shall we?
Her hole is nice.
I got a cat in Staten Island once.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
On the street?
Nope. I went to this Russian lady's house. My nanny who is Ukrainian, had this cat named Joey. I loved Joey. She was single and sad, so I was like, well, let's just get a cat. So that she gets this cat. And she lived in our house. And then I loved Joey the cat so much that I was like, ooh, I'd like to get a Joey.
Yeah.
So funny, this Joey. So then she was like, oh, I got it from this Russian lady in Staten Island. So I drove to Staten Island. Very hard to get to Staten Island. Like shockingly
And you have to pay
long
both
time.
ways to get there,
Paid
don't
it both
you?
ways. I had to go like all through New Jersey, whatever. End up at this Russian lady's house. She had like 70 cats there. And then she wanted to like stay and chat. And of course, like I was trying to do this like between conference calls. So I was like, I'll just take the cat. Like,
Did you have one picked out from online already?
no, she didn't even have a website. I just like went
you
in
just
and
went and
like
picked one from the
nabbed
litter?
the cat. Yeah, just literally
God.
just nabbed a cat. Nabbed the cat. I think I didn't have enough money. I cash. She only took cash. So I never have cash. So I was like, I had some cash, but not enough cash. So I'm like haggling with this Russian lady. And then I was like, I'll just, I don't think Venmo existed. So I was like, I'll write you a check or whatever. The Russian lady did not like. So then I leave in a cab. I make the cab wait outside. I leave with the cat, and then I bring the cat to the Barstool office and like hid it in my office for like a day and a half, which was also a disaster. But anyways, that sounds great. What's your next job going to be?
So the next job we're going to Daytona for the Daytona 500.
Okay, great.
And we are going to be working as pit crew members.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So I think that we're going to have to film it a certain way. I don't think we're going to actually be on the field on game day.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to get run over. But yeah, I'm excited about that. So we're going to try all different things. We want to do a little heartwarming things with the cute animals, but then we want to get gritty with it as well. Yeah. Doing like hyper masculine jobs where like we're kind of out of a place.
And, you got to do like a sanitation job.
Oh yeah, we saw those. Those are on the list.
Yeah, I could just see you two riding on the truck like a Royal Tannenbaum.
We want to do something with old people. We play really well with senior citizens, my peers. So we could do something maybe like at an old folks home doing that in arts and crafts, or like giving them medications, or just just hanging out with the senior citizens home is going to be hysterical because they have such pizzazz and they're so funny and quick.
That's
and
great.
They're not filtered, so I think that'll be funny with that. We'd love to go international, do something, maybe out of our comfort zone that don't speak the language. Yeah,
you should take my job for a day.
Yeah, we said we can do that. Yeah. So it's just really fun. I'm so excited about that, but I want to make sure that they're being received well and they're being lucrative. They're monetized.
Okay, so your big goal right now is like get the salespeople to sell it.
Yes.
So if you are pitching why a brand should run in Working Girls.
Yeah. The reason is because, first of all, it's entertaining. We know that people are going to want to watch it because it has entertainment value to it. But also, if you want to tie in, I'm always someone that's like, when I'm working with a brand as an ad, like having it so like popped out of nowhere, like where the hell did that ad come from? Yeah. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't have like heart to it or kind of tie in somehow to the material. I feel it's like counterintuitive. Like, what is this like tampon ad doing here? These are two guys. It's like, well, that for us that works because we talk about tampons all the time. But it has to work. So I think that getting the right connections with the right brands, and I think that's us even caring about that is a good thing. And then we're able to tailor, being this new into the process, we're able to kind of tailor our material to that sales advertiser to kind of tie into like to make the most sense of it. And even bring them into or maybe even work at their factory or whatever, to tie it in.
Oh, that would be fun. That's a great idea. Did you tell the salespeople that?
No, I just thought of it.
That's actually great. Like you'll go make the chips
or
whatever.
Go to Takis and we'll make the Takis and, something like that. So because at the end of the day, it's all about entertainment. I think a lot of things, I can make anything funny. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it was a business and I want to make sure that we're all
you want to move product.
Yeah, I want everyone to make money. So.
That's great. Yeah. Okay, so in 6 weeks, if I were to check in with you, what has happened?
6 weeks from now, that's 3 months, 2 months?
Month and a half.
Month and a half.
Yep.
We already have banked another episode of that show.
Okay. Has a sponsor.
It's going to have a sponsor. We're also planning a tour. We're planning our live shows. So we're working on our material for that. So we'll hopefully have a lockdown curriculum for that show, and then at least 2 shows booked. And we're working with After Party. We like to do our shows in cities that have Barstool bars. Okay. Because the big thing with our shows is our girls like to turn up and drink, and they're wild.
Yeah, I love that.
So the thing is, our show is like I always call it the show is like the church of the wedding, where like you have to go, and then everyone's looking forward to the reception of the wedding. Sure. So it's like something. It's like we have to go to the show and do the show, but it's all about the party at the end of the day. So we always try to tie it in with the Barstool bars because they've been so fabulous to us, and it ties in with the whole thing, and it's just really fun.
So then let's add a new contract.
Yeah.
And those are good goals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right. And a vacation, maybe you'll
Daytona too. We're doing Daytona 500.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, vacation. Yeah, I'd love to do a Capri this summer.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah.
That's fabulous.
Amalfi Coast, pasta on a mountain.
I actually have never been there.
You haven't?
Nope.
I haven't either.
Well, amazing. Well, I love that.
Maybe work girls. Maybe I'll work at a lemon factory.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Or mozzarella factory.
Yeah, or like stomp the grapes.
Yeah.
I don't know if they do that there.
No.
Or like pull the fishing boats in.
Yeah.
I just watched Casino Royale this weekend. Have you guys seen Casino Royale, the Bond movie?
No.
Oh, so good. He's fabulous.
Oh, yeah.
But they have all sorts of
very cosmopolitan.
I'd be like on the gondola.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Joey.
Thank you for checking in.
Appreciate you.
Of course.
We'll check back in 6 weeks.
Okay, good. We'll see you then.
I love it. All right, so that was it for today's episode. Thank you for listening. Do yourself a favor and have a mid-year check-in. Also, a good point in the year, I do all my doctor's appointments in January, so I'm actually real late. So I'm going to give myself bad marks on that. But if you need to get your checkups, do your checkups now and do your mid-year check-in or do your mid-quarter check-in with yourself. And we will see you back here on Tuesday.